Welcome back to Just Talking. We have a great show for you today. Why? Because we have an excellent film festival coming up, and we're talking with David Haight from the Port of Fear Film Festival. David, nice to see you today.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me on.
So maybe for those who don't know, what is the Port of Fear Film Festival?
Sure. So the Port of Fear Film Festival is the only film festival in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It features everything from the sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and thriller genres, and it's all independent cinema. So we don't have any Hollywood films. These are all people who are out there doing the absolute best they can and proving Hollywood that there's so much more out there than just big special effects films.
How did this get started?
Sure. So there's actually a very vibrant film community here in Kenosha. It's not extremely extensive, but it is very vibrant. So originally, we were supposed to be doing a screening at Parkside of just some local short films. And then my wife, Jen, who's the co-director of the film festival, um, asked if there would be snacks. And I said, probably not. I mean, it's going to be a small affair. Maybe we'll go to a bar or a restaurant after. We'll do an after party. And she said, sounds lame. We should just do a film festival. And I said, okay. And that's all the convincing we really needed to get it going.
Now, are you a film director into film behind the scenes, putting on anything?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't. I mean, I do direct on occasion. I would definitely say I'm a filmmaker. I have my own independent business that does post-production work, so editing, some visual effects, some sound design, stuff like that. But I work with a lot of filmmakers in town. We actually just, this is promotion for two other films. We just finished signing off on a project called Behind the Bucket, which is a Star Wars fan documentary. You'll be able to see that in October on streaming services and should be available on DVD as well. And a movie that just announced its world premiere, What Happened to Dorothy Bell, which is another horror film, and that's directed by Danny Villanueva Jr. I was assistant director on that project, and we're all going to be flying out to Austin later this year to go to Fantastic Fest, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the largest genre film festival in the United States. So it's what Port of Fear aspires to be, in terms of grandeur.
How many years have you been doing Port of Fear Film Festival?
This will be our third year.
Very
So
good.
fun facts. Our first year, we had about 300 people attend the film festival. Last year, we had 2,500 people attend the film festival. So spreads like wildfire. We're something that I think a lot of people in Kenosha, Racine, Northern Illinois, we stand out among other film festivals just because of the genres that we screen, the level of care that we put into our film festival. Like we very much so, we plan all year long for this. This is not just hey, we started work a month ago, on it kind of a deal. So people really dig into that, and they can feel the care and the love that we put into it, and they show up for it. We're very excited to hopefully see even more people come out this year.
Talk about the films themselves. So it's a film festival. How does that work? Do you select the films? Do they submit it? How does that work?
So generally they'll submit the films. We do have like associate programmers who basically volunteers for the film festival, who I'll ask, hey, do you know anyone who's got a really good movie, or can you find someone who's, made a sci-fi film that's, set in space? Or can you find something that's, a fantasy that's, set in a really cool location and, has, higher production value. And then those people will go out and they'll do some research. They'll reach out to filmmakers, send them to us. And then those filmmakers will submit to us. Otherwise, outside of those associate programmers and a couple of, outlying films, maybe alumni who, ask if we would like to see their films. Most everyone finds us and then submits their film to us.
Is there judging of these films as well, and how does that work?
Yes, there is. So generally, our programming team will come up with the films that we deem were the strongest of the ones that were submitted for the year. We'll find our spots for them. We'll build out our program. And while we're building out our program, our judges will actually start going and combing through the films and, picking out which ones were the strongest of the strong, which ones, really blew their socks off. And we have an award ceremony that takes place on this year, Saturday the 14th, 8 p.m. You'll get to see all the filmmakers make their speeches, from their judged films.
Well, not also all the films, I believe there's also vendors that is a big area too. Let's talk about that. So not only are you seeing great films, but there's some vendors, a lot of them too.
Yeah. So a lot of people know about the Oddities Expo and all that kind of stuff. And, you might go down to Chicago and go to a horror convention. We kind of bring that to an outdoor area. So we have a 50+ vendor open air market that is right outside where the films are screening. It's right next to where the movie on the lawn is. And you have vendors who are local artists. You have vendors who are local food trucks. You have artists that are coming from Chicago, Madison, Milwaukee, and they're all in the horror, sci-fi, fantasy sphere. So we've got some, I think we have a comic book writer, we have some authors, we've got artists, we have 3D designers, we have people who sell like apparel and all that kind of stuff coming out, painting, sculptures, fabrication, like iron work, fabrication. And then, if you're on the softer side, we've also got crochet. We've got, I think, 3 crochet vendors who are, making, creepy octopuses, Cthulhu, HP Lovecraft inspired, little guys that can sit on your bed, and keep you safe at night.
It's a great place, I would also think, to network, meaning someone that's either an actor or a camera operator or something beyond, either in front of the scenes or behind the scenes. And is there like a social time that people can interact with the other crowd?
Yeah, actually, so the way that the market is actually designed is to make sure that filmmakers can interact with artists, that can interact with the general public. But obviously you're not necessarily looking, for the, filmmakers are identifiable by a badge that they're wearing, but at the same time, you're maybe not staring at their badges the entire time. So we do have networking opportunities after the film festival each day. So on Friday, we are going to be at Apis Hotel and Restaurant. We're going to be at their rooftop bar. And then we're also going to be at Church and Market following the award ceremony on Saturday, 9/14. And that's just going to be hey, let's just chill. Let's talk shop. Let's, really kind of figure out what we can do to collaborate, in the future. And even last year, some of the networking opportunities that we provided to filmmakers and to local filmmakers, outside filmmakers and local filmmakers, sorry, led to 2 films being made in Wisconsin, in the area. So it actually ended up bringing work here. So we hope to continue that push.
Sometimes when they show the films, there might be like Q&A with a someone associated with the film. Is that going to happen on some of those films?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got filmmakers coming in from all over the country, from New Mexico, New York, Ohio. And those are just the places where, they've told us where we're coming from. We have probably about half the filmmakers from half the movies, or half the filmmakers from the movies that we have are coming out, and they'll do Q&As. So if you watch their film, you can ask, how did you shoot this? How did you come up with the idea? How long did it take you? And then you hear, oh, it took you 2 years. Oh my God, why? Why would you do that to yourself? And then they'll follow up with that answer too. Why would you do that to yourself?
And let's talk about where this is going to be. I think you picked a great place. Where is this going to be held at?
So this is at Kemper Center, historic Kemper Center downtown, right on the lakefront. Last year it was actually really fun there because we did not plan this, but there was a blood moon and we were screening a movie on the lawn at the exact same time. So you're next to this giant old building that's lit up with red lights and is really creepy looking. And then you look behind you and there's this red glowing orb in the sky. And we were watching Lake Michigan Monster. So Lake Michigan Monster on Lake Michigan is, you can't beat it. I don't know if we'll have the same luck this year, but we are screening another movie on the lawn right next to Kemper Center. We'll be screening 60 films inside of Kemper Center over those 2 days. Two separate rooms. We'll be in Founders Hall and then the gymnasium. Um, it's gonna be amazing.
And I believe on your website, they've got either a lot great information about the films that we're showing too as well. So let's talk about the website. Where can people go to either get tickets or look at the website, or if you want to comment on the website, go ahead.
Sure. So you can find us at portoffearff.com, and you can purchase tickets at Film Freeway /Port of Fear. You'll be able to go and find tickets through almost every page of the film links that we have. There's going to be a ticket link at the top of the page and at the bottom of each page. So if you find a film that's really speaking to you, excellent. Go out there. We have got passes that start for the entire weekend that are like $70, which is like a $20 value for the entire weekend. And then we have regular tickets starting at $10. $10. It's cheaper than what you're going to get at, like, a Tinseltown or a Regency. No hidden fees attached to that. I say it's the way to go, and you'll likely never have the opportunity to see these movies locally again. The only opportunity you'll be able to see them is potentially online, or if you go to, say, a Milwaukee or a Chicago, and they happen to get picked up by those film festivals there.
And the dates that they're going to be, the film festival will be occurring?
Friday the 13th, September 13th, 2024, and September 14th, 2024. And we have programming starting on the 13th at 3 p.m. So if you have classes or if you got work, you're not missing a ton because there's nothing going on in the early afternoon. You can show up, roll down your car window and say, I'm here. We'll wave to you, go park, pick up your tickets, pick up your snacks, go watch movies, and then hang out till 10 p.m. Do the movie on the lawn, do the entire market, and then come hang out with us at APUS. Get a couple of cocktails, have a snack there, chat with some filmmakers, and learn something.
Sounds like a great event. Well, David, once again, congratulations on this film festival. I encourage anyone to go on the website and attend these festivals. It should be a great event. David, thank you so much for telling us today.
Thanks for having me.